Hello, this is Steve Thoele, Principal Broker with Premier Property Group, and bringing you another weekly update on the Newberg Oregon real estate market. This update will cover the last 8 weeks of market activity, ending this past Sunday, December 18th. So I'm going to share my screen and go through the info with you. So start off looking at active listing activity. So last week showed we only had 2 new properties come on the market in Newberg. And you can kind of see it's been, relatively slow here the past 8 weeks, which you would expect getting into kind of, late in the year here. So no surprise there. And end of the week with 87 homes in total on the market. That's a slight low you can kind of see for the past 8 weeks. And then the median price and days on market for the active listings, you can kind of see where that's kind of gone from start off at 560 and then dropped down to 550 for a few weeks here. This past week popped up to a slight high for the 8 weeks at 565,000. And then days on market, you can kind of see that's continued to increase as we've gone through the period here. Started off at 45 days. And this last week got up to about 83 days of average market time for these 87 listings currently on the market. So we're approaching about 3 months of average market time. So definitely, a much slower environment with homes, definitely hanging on the market a lot longer these days. Moving along to pending sales. This last week I showed we had 4 properties go pending in Newberg, and it's down a little bit from the prior week, but as you can kind of see, kind of in line with where it's been over the past 8 weeks. And then end of the week with 30 homes in pending status. And you can kind of see that that's kind of been trending down, in general over the past 8 weeks. The median price days on market for the pendings, you can kind of see we had a high of 532 about 6 weeks back, and then it really dipped down for the next basically 4 weeks in the 400s, 460s, 470s, and then this last week popped back up, clear up to 523. So I think there's kind of a big gap between, right below the median and at the median. So anyway, that's kind of where it was this last week. And then days on market, you can kind of see that's been very steady over the past 8 weeks at, kind of high 30s, low 40s in days on market. This last week coming in at 42. And then lastly, we'll look at sold listing activity. So as of the time I put this together, I show we had 3 homes go from pending to sold this last week in Newberg, down a little bit from the prior week, but again, kind of within, the range, toward the lower end of the range, but within the range. And then the last 4 weeks of activity, you can kind of see on a weekly basis here that we had 20 homes that have closed over the prior 4 weeks this past week. And that is a slight low for the past 8 weeks, as you can kind of see here. So, closing activity definitely has been slower as we're getting close to the end of the year here. And then the median price and days on market for those solds, you can kind of see the price was kind of steadily increasing here. Got up to 558 here a couple weeks back, and then this last week kind of came clear back down to 515. So 515,000 is the most recent number for median sold price. And then days on market, after getting up to a high of about 58 days here about 5 weeks back, it's been on the decline. This last week came in at 38 days of average market time for the most recent 20 sales in Newberg. And then finally, we'll look at the weeks of inventory and the sale price as a percent of the original list price. So red bars is weeks of inventory. You can see we had a low of about 9 weeks of inventory 7 weeks ago, and it has been on the increase from there. Had a high here about 3 weeks back of just under 19 weeks of inventory, and then this last week kind of came in at 17 weeks of inventory. So it remains to be about a little over 4 months of inventory right now in the Newberg market. So, definitely a slower time right now for sure. One thing to note is on the sale price as a percent of the original list price, you can kind of see we had been declining. We started off about 95% and it got down to a little under 90% asking price, and then this last week popped up quite a bit from about 91% to 95%. So prices of maybe kind of settled and are starting to firm up here again. We'll have to let's see what happens in the weeks ahead, but that's quite a change from the week prior. So just about a 5% discount is kind of where things are at over the past most recent 20 sales. So hope the most recent update has been helpful for you. As always, if I can ever answer any questions or be of any help, please don't hesitate to reach out. Always happy to talk. My number is 503-680-2065. If you already haven't done so, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel. It's a really great way for you to stay up to date on what's happening in your local Newberg market. So as always, I really appreciate you tuning in. Hope you have a fantastic day and week ahead, and wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year with your family. So we will see you in the new year.